Hello everybody, what's up, how you doing? Today, we're going to be talking about the Future of Genshin pack, like we kind of very frequently do for, every time there's a new live stream that goes down. But today we're going to be talking about also a very specific thing I've noticed and a very interesting thing that has gone down in the past 24, 48 hours, which is this. Yeah. But yeah, we're gonna cover the KFC Glider, we're gonna cover the 2.3 amount of content, we're gonna cover the decrease in Genshin popularity, sort of. We're gonna talk about a lot of things, but first, I want to talk to you about my charity stream this coming Saturday at 1 p.m. CST on my Twitch channel. We are going to be raising money for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, and as you can see literally down here, this little overlay, and there's going to be a bunch of weird incentives like me eating Bean Boozled, and if we get a big goal of $200, I'm gonna dye my hair electric blue. So among other things, like you can see the little rewards scrolling by right here. You can pay for me to work out, which I'm super out of shape, so I can eat 2 Bean Boozled. There's a bunch of stuff, and yeah, just even if you can't donate, just being there, chatting, supporting, sharing the stream helps a lot to get other people to see it, and maybe they can donate and all that stuff. So if you want to help make the world a better place, come this Saturday on my Twitch channel, 1 p.m. CST. I appreciate it if you would. But with that said, let's talk about the wings. Actually, first, let's not talk about the wings. The wings is a symptom of a much larger problem. So first, I want to talk about the comparison between Genshin 2.2 and Genshin 2.3 in terms of content. Here I have a nice little website, PC Games N. I don't know what the heck it is, but it's nice because they have summarized everything in cute little bullet points. And this is literally everything that's gonna come in 2.3. The new weapons, the new artifact sets, Ito Story Quest, Beidou and Goro Hangouts, the new event-related Pokemon thing, a warrior dog that can be placed in the teapot, I might have missed that detail, and the boss, as well as, the Energy Amplifier event, the Misty Dungeon event, the dog, hide-and-seek thingy or whatever, and the main Dragon Spine Albedo being evil event. But yeah, this is all that there is in this patch. And then if you come over here, this patch has Toma, which it also had a hangout for Sayu and Toma. We got the whole of Surumi Island. We got completely new events. We got these new weapons. And I think that's about it. And the Labyrinth event and all that type of stuff. So yeah, as you can see, aside from the fact that this one also has a new artifact set and a new boss, this one had more 2.2 had more content than 2.3, because if you don't get Ito or Goro, and I for example don't have Albedo and I don't use Noelle, the artifact set is useless. I want to get Ito and Goro, but if you don't use Geo aside from Ningguang or Zhongli, this is useless. And the healing bonus set is just for Kokomi and maybe Chi-Chi, I guess. So there's not that much content in 2.3. It's being completely carried by the fact that these are the 2 best ever made events in Genshin history. And this one looks incredible. The new Albedo event looks incredible, and this one looks super cute and super fun. But you might be able to see that, kind of dry content, the same way that 2.2 was kind of dry content, and the tail end of 2.1 was kind of dry content. And so then they announced this, which is the double rerun event wish preview for the times that there are, There's the way they do it is it's separated into phase 1, which is the rerun, and phase 2, which is the new characters. And phase 1 is gonna have multiple characters at the same time. And so the big issue here is, well, this is a positive. This is a positive because if you really wanted Eula, for example, you don't have to wait until 2.4 in order to be able to get her. But the bad thing about this is if you want to get Eula and Ito, like I do, you are kind of screwed. I want Ito and Goro in order to make a Geo-centered team with Ito, Goro, Zhongli, and like throw in, I don't know, Bennett, or throw in Sucrose or something like that, right? I want to have that team because one of my teams is really solid with Yoimiya, Xingqiu, and like a bunch of other characters. One of them is really good, and I also have Venti and Rated Shogun to throw whenever I need. But the other one is kind of a little bit of mishmash or whatever. So I wanted Ito and Goro to make my second team a Geo team, basically. But I also wanted Eula because Rated and Eula seems a lot of fun, and from what I've seen is just a ton of, it does a ton of damage. It's just a good team overall, and it looks like my kind of thing. But I can't get both. And even if I did get both, I can't build both. There is no way to get enough resin in this game to build both characters. And so here comes my main issue and what the future, looking into the future of Genshin Impact kind of nails down to. And that is, we are getting less and less content, and they're pushing more and more characters that require that content in order to complete. And so we're in this loop of not being able to do what we want, which is build the characters that we get, because the resin system and it's oh my god. Right now, if you wanted to build Ito, for example, new character which requires new boss materials, most likely because it's a Geo boss, you are gonna have to farm the boss every day until you get enough of his little drops, which is a good amount, in order for you to build them on release, right? And you're gonna have to farm the artifacts as well. And I, for example, have a lot of Mora and books because I've been saving up and I've been doing ley lines every now and again for a new character to drop. And I've been playing it smart, and I have enough for Ito and Goro. So if I want to, I can get that second team I wanted, but I can't get Eula. And even if I wanted to, I couldn't, because I would have to go and farm the Ice Cube, and I would have to go and farm the cryo artifacts that I don't have right now. Well, I could yoink a couple from my Aloy, but that's besides the point. No, not even cryo. I need physical, which I don't have at all because Eula is the only viable physical character. Yes, I used Keqing as physical carry as well. I know it's possible, but it's not ideal to say the least. And so you have this issue of you want to play this game, but you can't. You physically cannot. And so, that kind of, sort of has burnt out a lot of people, myself included, and that's why I practically quit Genshin Impact for the duration of the entirety of 2.2, practically. I only came in at the very end, and I'm getting a couple primos here and there. I'm not even playing all the time either. So, I'm just kind of vibing right now. And so, it makes this all the more perplexing. But then it clicked. MiHoYo is getting really desperate. MiHoYo is getting lower marketing, worse marketing as well, worse word of mouth, and they're seeing probably less new incoming players, considering that it's been a whole year since the game originally came out, which is normal, but I think it's worse than what they thought it was going to be. Just in case you don't know, the Wing Glider event, the little KFC event, you have to subscribe for 2 months for a feature for a participating Twitch streamer, or gift 2 gifted subs to their community in order to be able to get the Wing Glider, as well as 30,000 Mora, Jade Parcels, Tonkotsu Ramen. It's just a bunch of nonsense stuff, right? And so I was thinking, why would they be doing this? Well, it's probably because they're seeing less and less engagement from not just their community online, but probably less and less players because of 2.1 anniversary rewards burning people out, and 2.2 being practically empty. And I was like, but there's not really that much precedent for that, is it? Oh, wait, there is. Let me show you. This is Genshin Impact, the whole category on Twitch with on twitchtracker.com. This is a great website if you ever want to check stats for streamers and games and all that. But if you check right now, well, you can see it right now. It's 9,000 live viewers, right? But it averages about 11,000, 12,000 whenever it's not like an immediate patch drop. And if you compare that to the driest quote-unquote moment in Genshin Impact history, which was 1.4, 1.5, those numbers are kind of looking similar. And this was just off the back of a completely new region with the new Archon coming out and a bunch of content thrown in. This is not good for MiHoYo and for Genshin Impact. They are seeing the amount of player base that they saw in the driest moment in the game's history, only 2 updates in compared to 4 updates back in 1.4. Now, yes, there's a certain level of, oh, the game came out not too long ago, and there's still people doing things, but all the way back in March. But there's also the reality that there is not that much content to do, and most Genshin creators are not playing Genshin anymore. If you check on Tectone's channel, if you check on Dish's channel, if you check on Mtash's, if you check on who else, Atsu, Asian Guy streams, you can see that they're doing more and more, at the very least, variety stuff, or more personal, more how do you say it, personality-based content, right? Mtash used to make guides, used to make a bunch of content that was informative and a bunch of really, really good, concise stuff, but he made a whole video about it, saying that he literally doesn't have anything to talk about because there's not enough content in the game for him to do. He can do artifact reruns forever, but it's not fun anymore after your AR-56 and you've done this thing, you have done this 1,000 times. And I personally have had a similar thing happen to me, evident from the fact that I've taken a lot of breaks ever since 2.0 finished and the beginning of 2.1 finished, because there's just not that many things to do for an endgame player. And so here is where my desperation and my outlook, my not so positive outlook towards Genshin's future is. MiHoYo is going about trying to foster the community into doing stuff the completely wrong way. They're doing the complete opposite of what they should be doing. Instead of doing more new content, instead of doing more endgame related things, which they just despise to touch. They don't like to touch it. They just go like with a 5 fucking meter long pole, just like, no, I don't like that. But they don't wanna do endgame content, evidently. But they are also not doing any mid-game content. We're getting barely new character releases, and when we do get new character releases, like Goro and Ito, right? A new problem arises when they introduce the double reruns, that there's not enough resin in the game in order for you to do the stuff that you want to do. And look, it's kind of a double-edged sword, because obviously the resin also works as a way to slow down the player in order for them to develop the content. Because let's be completely honest, Genshin is I was gonna say complete masterpiece. It's not a masterpiece. It's a really polished game all around. It's a really polished game, and they take their sweet time with their updates. But overall, like, aside from when they literally have nothing in them, the content that does get added is fantastic. It's pretty good. But the problem is that content is only able to be played once. Like the story content, the Archon quests, the story quests that are character specific, like the new Ito one that's coming. You can replay hangouts, but like those are super toned down compared to how cool and how much more involved the story quests are. You can't redo world quests, and the only thing you can redo is the daily commissions, which, get this, it's just like the same 3 missions repeated over 3 different zones. And so we run into this problem. We don't have anything to do. They want us to keep playing the game. They want us to keep having good word of mouth and spending money on the game. But we don't have anything to do. So please, miHoYo, this is why I feel like it's so bleak and it's so hopeless for the future of the game. But please increase the resin cap and add more endgame content, because the more characters you add into the game, the more reruns and the more parallel banners you do, like the one right here, the more need for higher resin costs is going to be. And you sort of felt that as well when was it 2.1 introduced Senora, right? And a lot of people were like, hey, look, now there's a lot of freaking weekly bosses for a lot of talent materials. Can you like maybe increase the resin cap, or maybe add an extra lowered cost for the little weekly boss thing? They did nothing. They did nothing. And now we're getting to the point where they're doing double reruns, which means you're gonna need, if you want to get all the characters and miHoYo wants you to spend the money to get the characters, we need more resin to get everything for the characters. And look, you could always spread it out, right? The devil on your shoulder, the counter argument for it is, if you build Eula, for example, this patch, and build Albedo in the end of this patch, beginning of the next one, you have a lot of content to do. But the thing is, that content is super boring. And instead of being, you enjoying the new character that you gotta grind with the characters you already have in order to finally be able to use the character that you were so hyped to do. And if you want to pre-farm for the character, whenever it's a new character that requires new boss materials like Ito and Goro, you can't. You can't pre-farm, or you can't pre-farm for a short amount of time. And you also need to get the artifact. And it starts compounding, where the content that we do have is very minimal, and the content, and even that content is limited, and everyone is burning out, myself included. But yeah, I don't know. That's what I think currently about the future of Genshin Impact. It kind of looks bleak, to be honest, for an end game type of player, or just a player that really likes the story content, the building new characters and all that, because the more they do this, as cool as it is, because I want to get back to Kazuha, because I really want Kazuha, the more problems we're gonna have with having to either spend money to do resin refreshes, or literally feel like you want to play more but you can't. And that feeling is awful, because this game is phenomenal. And it frustrates me to no end. And I know it also does to Tectone, to MTash, to a bunch of other creators and a bunch of other players that want to play this game so much more, but we can't. But yeah, I think that's everything I have for today. As always, again, if you can, please come this Saturday for the St. Jude Children's Research Hospital charity stream at 1 p.m. CST. And if we get enough money, I'll color my hair electric blue, and it's gonna look weird as hell. But yeah, thank you already so much for watching. I appreciate it. Papa bless, all the love, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.